Can I ask you a bit about actually playing tennis? Because I didn't play much of it, so, so I'd like to ask you: is there a lot of? Well, we've just been watching the cricket actually. Yeah. Is there a lot of sledging going on in tennis? Is there a lot of psychology between? Because it's a one-on-one sport. Yeah. Is there? McEnroe was famous for creating mayhem. Was that to put his opponents off?
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, and he said that he used it as sort of tactic. I mean, I wish there was more of it going on. I think it makes it more, makes it more interesting to watch. But no, I mean, there is sort of quite a lot of psychology in it. But there's rarely will you see guys sort of sledging each other across the net. But it does happen.
What sort of things do people do to put each other off?
No, there's just little things like, some guys like Nadal always likes to cross the net second, so he waits.
Cheat.
Just stuff like that. And
really? Why don't you just wait back a bit?
No, but that's what guys do sometimes. Just to sort
stand
of
off.
Just stand there and that.
I'm not moving.
But yeah, just like those sort of things happen. Some guys, they want to, if they hit like an ace or a good shot, they want to use the same ball for the next point. Yeah. So sometimes the opponents will hold it and then just wait until the the time's up, and then they'll just throw it behind them.
Right. Okay.
Just little things like that. There's not.
The other thing I wanted to ask you is, do you actually have to pace yourself through a match? I was thinking, if you're 40 love down and it's against your they're serving, you're 40 love down, is it worth you? Do you go for every point, or do you just think, oh, forget this game, I'm not going to exert any more energy in it, or do you go for every single point?
You try to go for every single point, but there is you might go for a shot that you might not necessarily try if it was a big point. If you're playing 40-degree heat in a 5-set match in Australia, you're not gonna. Very few players are fit enough to give 100% on every single point. For 4.5 hours. So.
Okay. What I was going to ask you also is about the new centre court with the new roof. It's the first year, isn't it? Are you excited about that? Do you think that's a good thing for the sport?
Yeah. I mean, it make a big difference. If I play all my matches on centre court, then I know every day that I'm going to get finished. I'm not going to get held up by the weather. Whereas the rest of the guys, if they're playing on the outside courts, might have to play 2-3 days in a row. Whereas hopefully I'll always be kind of on schedule, and I played indoors when I was growing up in Scotland, because he had weather and stuff, so I always liked playing.
Did you get to play much grass up in Scotland?
No, I didn't. I think, but even down here, very few kids now grow up playing on grass. I think it's kind of a bit of a myth. Everyone thinks that because you're from England or whatever, that you're going to be good on grass, but no one practices on it except around Wimbledon.
Right, I've got to ask you a question, but you probably can't. Is there any point of still playing on grass? Is it great to play on grass?
No, well, it's not good for development and stuff when you're a kid, because the points are really short, and it's better to practice on the slower clay courts, so you learn how to build points and different tactics and whatnot. But I wouldn't recommend practicing on that when you're growing up.